So, now that MLB The Show 22 is effectively done, truly one of the baseball games that have ever released, like the Burger King of baseball sims. Now it's time to shift our focus a bit to MLB The Show 23. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to think about, really, and we're going to do that today. In the comment section, I do want to hear some favorite things that you had from MLB 22, because I certainly did enjoy the game. I just know that it could have been a hell of a lot better. So leave a like down below as always, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, let's talk about 23! But first, let's take a second, talk about Underdog Fantasy. Once again, they are rapidly approaching new markets. Currently in 43 out of the 50 states. If you see yourself right there, you can go ahead and use code GOMES. You guys will get a $100 deposit match. Underdog Fantasy's been a lot of fun. You know, Broncos fans out there, it's going to give you reason to actually, watch football at this point. Had a couple big wins the other day. I've really enjoyed it. You can utilize the insurance features, so you don't have to be perfect. You can afford to miss a pick, which is very good, and still cash out. So again, use promo code GOMES for a $100 deposit match and get going with Underdog today. Thank you to them for sponsoring the channel as always. Biggest thing first, release date. When the fuck is the actual game coming out, right? That's fairly important. Well, a little bit of insight here. MLB 22 ended up dropping on April 5th. And a point you can notice is content really died down about an entire month sooner. Last year was the final that we had the inning-based programs. We got up to the 11th inning. It was going into extras. Thankfully, it's not like football where it has ties. The winners actually decided. Thank you, Giants, Commanders. But we had the Forever program drop just a few days ago. The beginning of December compared to last year, the 11th inning program, essentially what was the Forever program, didn't drop until the beginning of January. So cutting content like 4 weeks sooner, to me at least, would maybe bring the idea that the game could come out sooner, but if nothing else, I would imagine early April to mid to late March is where you can expect that release window to be. It used to, before the last couple years, always be before the actual season, and I guess it was this year too. Thank you, Manfred, for that lockout. So it still remains true after all. Who's gonna grace the cover is another big argument that I want to hear you guys' opinion in the comment section down below. I have a couple customs here. This one looks fantastic. I would love the design here, but I hate to be the bringer of bad news here. Tell you, Santa Claus is not exactly real. This won't happen. Bo Bichette won't be on the cover. Even if they bring back the Canadian edition cover, Bo Bichette would not be, staring back at you at a Walmart in that little case right there, if anybody buys physical games still. But I do love the art there for sure. Then we got MLB 22 card art. Shout out to him again, one of the best. Just doing it in general. I've said it once and said it again. I feel like he's better than some of the graphic artists that we have working on, MLB The Show. And that's saying a lot because they do a good job too. But we got Mookie Betts right here. Again, fantastic cover. You've got the LA theme in the background, and Mookie gracing the cover, I think, is definitely deserved. We'll talk about a little bit more, but I think he's a possibility. He's only 30. He's still an absolute superstar, and I don't know. I think it is fairly likely, if you forget about this guy right here, Julio Rodriguez, of course. I think he's got to be the odds-on favorite right now. I don't know. There's a lot to like here, and personally, I think it would be really cool not seeing somebody from Los Angeles or New York being the face. It's great to see Seattle. They've had big baseball roots, not so much in the last 15, 20 years, but they're getting back there. They broke the curse. And parallels to Griffey, won the Rookie of the Year here for J-Rod, had a very, very good season, and I think it would be fitting to put him on the cover right there. That's, again, from MLB 22 card art, and this one from MLB 20 card art. Similar names, but both very good styles. This one a little bit different. Let me know who you think is going to be on the cover, but well, any of these three I could see being fairly likely. Now, what is it exactly that we know about MLB 23. Not much, not too much. That's written in stone, but rest assured, there's a couple things that are almost a guarantee. Death, taxes, and DH being in MLB The Show 23. They couldn't get it this year. I don't know why, because it is in every mode except Diamond Dynasty, but I would be willing to bet multiple dimes, okay, maybe a little bit more, that DH is going to be in the game. It's fairly obvious at this rate, and I don't know. I hear the argument both ways that it could be good or bad for the game. Personally, I think it's great, I have reason to use a guy with cement blocks for feet. Like, where the fuck is he? He's at the top right there. That's the only time this card's going to be at the top. Stanton, fantastic hitter. Really fun to use. I hit well with this guy. Pretty rough start. Some legend games in there, which didn't help out his case, but 33 speed makes him effectively useless. The fact is, when you are as slow as Xfinity customer support, you're just not going to be too usable. Lord help me if you had to play, I don't know, a game in Laughing Mountain or something with that huge gap. Good luck getting this bastard to get under the ball there. So I think it's going to be great for that reason alone. So many more hitters are going to be utilized, and, we see how many bangers that they do drop, where that's just an additional one. Yes, it's fun hitting a home run with Jacob deGrom. It is, well, one would assume maybe they could finally implement Ohtani as he actually is. And they could be so simple. I will note you can do it offline in DD. Like, let's take this card right here. You could sub him in the outfield, but you cannot do that online. I'm sick and tired of people saying in the comment section, you can't do it. You can't do it. We went and proved it on stream. But it would be nice for them to implement Ohtani next year. And two-way players in general, that we're seeing a few more, maybe 1 year. Brendan McKay is going to be finally healthy once again. But just going to be more usable hitters, which is always a great thing. Another that I would be willing to bet 99% sure is going to be ensuing is co-op. That we're going to get an actual program for it, because it's something that they mentioned this year that was going to happen. In the developer live streams, they said once they got it to a place where they liked it, once it worked well, which it sure as hell didn't at the beginning of the game. It was a bug-riddled mess, but it's improved. Still, occasionally, it wears its ugly head, but usually pretty solid, working as intended, am I right? We're going to get a program for this. They said a couple months down they would do it. As it so often happens, something this company loves doing is holding off on completing something so it can be a brand new feature, back of the box, crazy, get excited, pre-order now. Like BR last year, right? They had the first initial setting of the BR program, which was really good, but the problem was, you had these mission players, which they would put out for the sole purpose you grind stats with them in BR to get program progress, to work yourself up towards the flawless 12-0 reward without actually having to go flawless 12-0. But the problem was they didn't guarantee that you'd actually see these cards. You'd have to roll the dice, hope for a Yahtzee. And finally this year, they were so hyped to tell us in stream that, you're getting a guaranteed round this time. You're going to have a certainty that these mission cards are going to be on your team. I'm not a game developer. I haven't been in the chair before actually coding, but I can say with a fairly high degree of certainty it would take me, with no experience, no less than 24 hours to enact that. And it took them into the entire next title. So with co-op, I think it's going to be very similar. They could have absolutely put in the reward structure this year, but they figured, it's June, it's July, why not just wait till next year? And honestly, it's okay. They have a little bit more time to fine-tune bugs and hopefully put in a play versus friends feature too. You can play with friends. Now it would be nice to actually play against friends. Obviously, with the reward structure, you wouldn't get program progress. You're not going to be a boost fest there. But co-op, great mode on its own. But with reason to play, I think is going to be so much fun. So co-op and DH are two things that I would nearly put my life on the line to say, are going to be in MLB 23. And I'm going to make a full video talking about things that I think should be in there, my ideal Diamond Dynasty, because I have a lot of good ideas, at least I would like to think, where they can improve on. Because, let's face it, I think it's fairly obvious, even if you enjoyed this year's entry a bit more than I did. This was kind of a holdover year until next year, right? You know, with no gameplay updates, you know, significant gameplay updates. Co-op, they didn't really end up doing anything with that. It seems pretty obvious that this was like a stepping stone to hopefully build a bigger picture for MLB 23. As far as exclusivity and a new gameplay engine, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to remain on Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. I don't think that they're going to cut support for last generation consoles, your PlayStation 4, your Xbox One. Can I see Switch as last generation console at this point? It's about as powerful as an Etch-a-Sketch, but I guess we'll include it in with the big boys there at current gen. And new gameplay engine. It's not a guarantee that they need new, or rather fixed on the new generation hardware to do it, but it seems we're probably waiting for that. So, a couple big picture things that I think that we could look for, other than what we talked about, is gameplay updates, being hitting tuning, pitching tuning, you know, stuff like pinpoint. That is fairly easy that they could do. So, we'll see. I don't think it's going to be a brand new, like, crazy experience like you're, you know, waking up from a coma. You haven't played MLB The Show for years. But I think it's going to be an improvement. That's what I'm hoping for. If you took this game and just fine-tuned things that they could do with hitting, you know, make foul balls less egregious, you know, make squared-up balls a bit more rewarding, pinpoint, actually having your input matter, it would be a far better game. So those things I'm looking forward to. Let me know in the comments section what you guys want to see for MLB 23. But, as always, leave a like down below. More videos coming soon. And yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. That comes out to yeet.